The restaurant went silent. A woman stood shaking near the counter, her coat thin, her hands empty. "I just need something small," she whispered. "For my children." The manager laughed, loud, cruel. "Food isn't charity," he snapped. "Get out before I call the cops." Customers stared. Phones came out. No one moved. Then he shoved the receipt book into her chest. Humiliation burned her face as tears fell to the floor. Outside, engines rumbled. Low, heavy, growing louder. The windows began to vibrate. The manager smirked until the sound stopped, and leather-clad figures stepped through the door. "Stay right here, because what happens next will turn shame into justice, and silence into power." Her name was Elena Brooks, a mother of 2, recently widowed, recently invisible. The restaurant sat off a long highway, cheap neon lights, fast food, faster judgment. The manager, Derek Walsh, ruled it like a throne. Short temper, loud voice, power over people who needed paychecks. Elena had walked 3 miles to get there. Her children were home, waiting. No dinner, no heat, just hope. Customers watched from booths. A truck driver, a young couple, a tired waitress who knew Derek's cruelty too well. Elena wasn't begging for money, just leftover food, something that would let her children sleep without hunger. What Derek didn't know, what no one in that room realized, was that Elena had once belonged to a family built on loyalty, protection, and justice. And outside, that family was already close. Derek folded his arms and leaned across the counter. "You hear me?" he said loudly. "No free food. You people always want something." Elena flinched. A customer hit record. Another whispered, "Man, that's cold." The waitress, Megan, slid a small bag behind the counter, fries headed for the trash. Derek slapped it away. "Company policy," he barked. Elena reached into her pocket and pulled out a folded receipt. "I can pay tomorrow," she said softly. "I clean offices across the street. I get paid at dawn." Derek laughed again. "Yeah, and I'm the president." He turned to security. "Get her out." As they grabbed Elena's arm, her phone slipped and fell. The screen lit up. A missed call. "Patch President, incoming." Derek didn't notice, but Megan did. Outside, the rumble returned. Closer now. Leather boots hit pavement. One, then many. Elena closed her eyes. Inside her phone was more than a call. Photos, names, locations. Proof of how Derek treated others. Times he dumped food instead of donating it. Times he threatened workers. She'd been collecting quietly, patiently. The doors opened. The bell rang. And in walked 5 bikers. Broad shoulders, calm eyes, military posture. The room froze. The lead biker removed his helmet. "Is there a problem with our sister?" he asked. Derek swallowed. Because suddenly, he wasn't in charge anymore. The restaurant felt smaller, air thick, breath held. The lead biker stepped forward. His name was Marcus Hale, former Marine, calm, controlled. "We heard shouting," he said evenly. "And then we heard a mother crying." Derek straightened his shirt, forcing a laugh. "This is a private business," he snapped. "You can't just walk in here." Marcus nodded. "You're right." He turned, not to Derek but to the room. "And this," he said, "is a public humiliation." Phones were already up. Recording, streaming. Elena's hands trembled as Marcus gently picked up her phone from the floor. "Is this yours, sis?" he asked. She nodded. Marcus tapped the screen. Videos played. Derek yelling at a homeless veteran. Derek dumping untouched meals into trash bags. Derek threatening to call ICE on a dishwasher. Gasps rippled through the room. Megan stepped forward shaking. I can confirm all of it," she said. "So can the others." A truck driver stood. "So can I." Another customer raised his hand. "I've got footage, too." Derek backed up. "This is harassment," he yelled. "I'll sue every one of you." Marcus didn't move. "You won't," he said quietly, "because we already sent this to corporate. And the local news. Right on cue. Sirens. Police lights washed the windows blue and red. An officer entered, tablet in hand. "Derek Walsh," he said. "You're being investigated for harassment." discrimination and abuse of authority. Derek's face drained of color. Elena spoke for the first time. "You didn't humiliate me," she said softly. "You showed everyone who you really are." The room went silent. Derek's knees buckled. He sat down hard. Marcus placed a hand on Elena's shoulder. "You're not alone," he said. "Never were." And for the first time that night, Elena felt safe. Derek Walsh was fired before sunrise. Corporate issued a public apology. Investigations followed. Policies changed. The restaurant that once humiliated a hungry mother became a symbol of what happens when cruelty is exposed by courage. Elena Brooks didn't walk home that night. Marcus and the bikers escorted her to a warm apartment. Groceries stocked. Heat turned on. Her children fed. The community showed up. A local church helped with rent. A small business owner offered her a job. Megan, the waitress, testified and was promoted weeks later. But Elena never asked for revenge. She asked for dignity. And she got more than justice. She got her voice back. News anchors tried to label the bikers as intimidating. Marcus corrected them. "We don't ride for fear," he said. "We ride so no one feels powerless." Months later, Elena volunteered at a food pantry. Same highway, same town. Only now, no mother stood alone at a counter. Because sometimes humanity answers injustice not with fists, but with presence, with witnesses, with people who refuse to look away. And the world learned a simple truth. You never know who's watching. You never know who's coming. And you should never mistake kindness for weakness.